Hey everyone, this is Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission, and today I have a hodgepodge thrift haul for you guys. If you're new to my channel, sometimes I do these, what I call a hodgepodge thrift haul, and that's kind of where I've only had like a short amount of time to go to a couple different thrift stores, so I kind of just compile them together. I am a 14-year online reseller in Wisconsin. And so my closest, like this particular hodgepodge haul is from about 30 minutes away-ish. And that's about the closest thrift stores that I have to my location, which isn't terrible, but it's also not like 4 minutes away, which is okay. So there are two like within, I don't know, like 8 miles or something. And sometimes I hit up both of them in the same day if I have the time to. If you guys have watched my channel, then you know most of the time I don't have a ton of time to thrift. So I normally go 1 day a week. If I'm lucky, maybe 2 days a week, and that's pretty rare. So I do like going to this location because it has two options for me to check out. And I do know, I peeked at a couple, like some of this at the bottom, I have no idea what it is. But some at the top, I know I have some vintage pieces, some style-based pieces, and some brand names. One BOLO that I always get really excited to find. So you guys, let me know what you think of any of these items. I do what sold videos and thrift haul videos the most. I really am trying to incorporate a couple different styles and see what works, but I love hearing from you guys, and check in. Let me know how you're doing. It's June. It's a crazy time. My son just graduated. My boys are doing athletics. I'm tired, and all the mom things and all the things. So forgive me if I'm Hot Mess Express check. It's like Quemby. She's another reseller. She always does like a water cooler moment. I think my thing, and it's always really funny. I love watching her. My thing is going to be a Hot Mess Express check. What level are we on today? Not too bad. In one of my favorite zip-up sweatshirts, like always. Maybe that'll be my thing. Anyways, let's see what I have in here. I do mostly clothes, and I know this item here. I'm going to start with this item just because I know it's a good one. So for those of you who don't always stick around, and that's okay. You don't have to. I'm not going to force you. But if you want to see a good item, here is a awesome item. I just happened to be, so here's the story. Now you got to stay another minute. So I just like treated myself to going thrifting. I had like 2 hours. So with travel time, like that's not really a lot of time. So I was out, I was finding things, I was doing okay. And then I got an alert that we had a severe thunderstorm warning. All of my windows in my car were down out in the parking lot, and all of my windows were open at the house. And I actually had a couple fans in the window. Now, it did say it was going to rain. I knew it was going to rain, but I thought it was going to be later. And everyone was even saying that. Like, even at checkout, the lady was like, I thought it wasn't supposed to come till 4 o'clock. So this was the very last item that I found. They must have just put it out because this yellow tag was the new items. The yellow tag was the new items? Yeah, I think that's right. And I found this, and then I got the alert, and I was like, can I just let my car and my house get ruined? Because I looked at the radar, and I looked at the weather, and the storms came super early, and it was going to downpour like crazy. And I basically, honestly, this was the last item I found. I raced home. I was like literally racing black clouds, thinking my house was going to get like flooded because all the windows were open. I made it, and it was fine. I literally closed them all. Actually, I downloaded a video from our Ring camera because I went outside to check, like I have a greenhouse and some chickens and stuff. I checked it. I came inside. By the time I got to the kitchen, I looked out the window and it was pouring. I like made it by a hair of time. I actually like calculated it out, and it was like 30 seconds. From the time I finally walked in the back door and got into the kitchen was 30 seconds that it downpoured. So anyways, this was the last item that I found, and I was like, oh man, do I stay? Do I stay? Maybe I'll find more. Paid $6.49. If you don't know this brand, you should. It's a BOLO right now. Vori. I was having such a hard time saying that word. Vuri. It's an athleisure brand. It's like Lululemon. It's pretty comparable to like Lululemon, Aloe. A pretty sought after, high sell-through rates. This is a very common piece that they have, this pullover. This is a great color because it's a unique color. And oh, it does have both drawstrings. I was thinking for a second there wasn't the other one. And it's a size extra large. This is fantastic. You can also sometimes find it by the little square in the corner of the item where it says Vori. I was trying to see if it would, there it is, focus. So it does also have like the long tag, which can be cut out, and it's very similar to Lululemon. So sometimes I get excited to see this. But there are also brands that don't really, they're not worth anything that have this long tag too. But Lululemon and Vori have this longer tag if it's still attached. And it's made of recycled polyester. This is like the softest thing on the planet. It's called like the, this is one of the brands that has the different like names, like the Susanna pullover. And this was going for $40 to $50. I have a great color and a great size, being that it's an extra large. So I'm going to start at $50 for this one item. And I was so bummed. I was like, I'm just going to let my house flood. I don't even care. Because I looked at the radar and it was going to rain. Like they were saying like 1 inch in like 1 hour. I was going to risk it for the biscuit, baby. But I decided to be a good adult and I ran to the checkout and raced home. But when you find a Vori right at the last minute and you know they just put it out, it's hard not to want to keep like looking for other things. Anyways, if you don't know that brand, definitely take a look. Vori. This is a BOLO brand right now. It's basically a pickup in almost everything I find, if I find it. That's $6.49, and I'm going to say pretty confidently I'm going to get $40 for that item. And that's why I was willing to risk my whole house getting wet. Now, actually, this was from the same, so we'll do a couple items from this bag. So there's a Goodwill, and then there's another type of thrift store within like the 8 miles. So this was also a new item that I found, which I thought was really fun. This is vintage. Gear for sports, big cotton, size large. Look at that tag. You can just tell this is vintage Y2K. And it had a cool graphic on the front. I wish it was a little bit brighter, but it says the Rose Bowl 1999. So the Rose Bowl is like a college football thing, and it has Wisconsin Badgers logo on it. So this is a sweet pickup, you guys. Anything vintage Y2K, anything you can find with the 90s that is related to sports or a state, a university, anything like that is most likely a pickup. It sells like hotcakes. And this is a great pullover sweatshirt. So I'll put in all those keywords: Wisconsin Badgers, football, Rose Bowl, 90s. It has the 1999 right on it. Again, though, you can tell by that tag. And it's even on the back. Look at this. It says gear, like such a gear. What's it? Gear for sports, big cotton. Yeah. So another great item, something to keep your eye out for. Vintage university, vintage sports, any athletic. Doesn't really matter what, a basketball, a vintage Lakers, a vintage Packers, a vintage Cubs, any type of vintage. Especially if it has a date on it like that, that is absolutely something you want to check out and probably pick up. Now, I have lost sleep over this item because I think it's stretched out. So this is Flax. Now this is a brand you want to find. Flax, Flax. Not to be confused with like the material, the brand Flax. Size large. Yeah, this is 100% linen, made in Lithuania. These are wide leg and look, boho. You know, this is natural with 100% linen. So this is a combo that it is 100% linen, and it's a great brand, which is Flax. But I'm not sure what to do. When I was driving home, I was like, gosh, you know what? Those kind of seemed big. And they are like wide leg, which is also in. You want the wide leg linen. So I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this, because I believe there's a little bit of stretch left in the elastic band, but not a ton. Now that, I guess that could be a learning experience if you are newer or trying to learn. In reselling, you should know to check your elastic band, and this is a little bit stretched out. So normally that would be a $30 to $40 item. I'm honestly not 100% sure how I'm going to handle that, because right now it would probably fit more of like a 1X, and there is a little bit of stretch. It's not completely shot, but what do you do there? That is a great brand to find, and I'm still picking up linen right now. So this was a half off item. Blue tags at this place was half off. So $3.99, this was $2. The brand is a vintage brand. It's Studio 1940. I've found this Y2K vintage Studio 1940 before, and it does pretty well for me on style-based pickups. This is a vintage Y2K. Oh my gosh, I probably owned this at some point in my very young life 20 years ago. Baby doll style tank top with the satin, the shiny satin finish and the halter necktie. This is like what we used to wear to go out to the club, go out to the bar. I mean, I can barely walk anymore. My back hurts so bad. Maybe I shouldn't have done those things. But this is what we would wear, or you'd wear it to like the dances, you know, the baby doll, the vintage Y2K, the halter around the neckline, and this shiny satin finish. I tell you guys all the time that these types of Y2K style-based pieces will sell in the $25 range, $20 to $25, pretty consistently. Oh shoot, I dropped something. So, you know, every once in a while it'll be 18, sometimes it'll be 27. So I'm right in that range. That was only $2. I'll get $20 for that, and that's $15 profit. Now this was fun. This is another vintage Y2K item, Aeropastel. What does it say? Oh, and I knew it was vintage because of this graphic here. And so any shorts, especially with a cargo pocket, that you can find, Aeropastel, Hollister, American Eagle, I'm forgetting one, any of them that you can find with this hit of the logo with the cargo short is a great style-based vintage Y2K pickup right now. And this is like a board short. It does have, it's not lined or anything. So you could wear this out, or you could wear it probably to like the beach or whatever. But vintage Y2K Aeropastel, a great piece. This is another 20 to 25. This is a half off tag here. So this is also $2. This feels really soft. Oh. If you guys don't know this brand, you should. I only learned it, I don't know, 6 months ago. I've only found it once. ATM. And it's hard to see. This black tag here, you can barely see. So I like triple checked on this. I was like, oh wait, that's ATM. Made in Peru. Now this is not a very substantial piece. This is a basic closet staple, neutral, natural, minimalist. You know, every closet needs a nice classic tan tank, but the brand itself you want to know. ATM. And this was half off. So this sat in the Goodwill for 4 to 6 weeks. I don't even know how many colors they have. They switch the color every Sunday at this particular location. I haven't looked up anything yet. I'm going to look it up. ATM. So you want to know this brand. Obviously, this is not a super substantial piece, but it's worth the pickup. ATM women's lightweight tank top right here. Sold today, $37. Women's tank top. These are brand new. I like to only talk about or provide comps that kind of match my item or are similar to my item. This one is another, just a tank top, ladies tank top, $29. I paid $2. Okay? So I'm good. I'm good, guys. This is great. ATM. $2 to $27 all day. And that was sitting there for weeks. Clearly, I hadn't gone through that section because I would have known that brand, but I don't get to thrift a whole lot. Here's a style-based, another Y2K item. The brand is Taboo. I always love Made in USA. Sharing these brand names from the 90s and the Y2K era because they're just so funny. Taboo. Here's your paper tag. Made in USA. Another. This is a size 3X, which is fantastic. Look at this dress. Oh. Like the lipstick red with the gem rhinestones, the baby doll cut, and the tie around the back. That's it, you guys. This is a great Y2K pickup. I will put, obviously, those keywords. You could wear this to a dance, a hoko, a prom. I will also put in like sexy club wear going out because it is a thing to wear Y2K 90s era stuff to like the bars and stuff now. If you're going to a club. So this is all the things you want to look out for. Taboo does not mean much to me, but the fact that it is vintage and Y2K is why it is a pickup. And I don't see a price tag. I think there was one item that didn't have a price tag, and they just gave it to me for like $4. Wow, another vintage Y2K dress here. So I really hit the dresses. Made in USA. This is the Pyramid Collection. Here's another funny one. The Pyramid Collection with the paper tag. Made in USA, size extra large. Again, the baby doll cut with the V-neck, the band underneath. This kind of gives me like artsy or art to wear vibes, kind of dark. Has this nice purple color. See this like kind of artsy, abstract, art to wear. This is probably whimsy goth or fairy goth because it has kind of like a playful style to it. This was $7.99. A lot of these dresses I list in the $29 to $39 range. If it's something super special, I could even go higher than that. I listed a dress today, a Y2K dress for $49. But dresses are more substantial. So now this was an awesome find. I wasn't sure at first because they had $8.99 on it. It's Tommy Hilfiger. It's like a windbreaker with a kangaroo pocket in the front with a zip up. I love the color block style. I love the big hit of the logo on the side with the accenting yellow. This is like Y2K all the way. I need to start writing these things down. But so I actually just used my Google Photo app to do this, which I don't do a whole lot, but I was like, okay, it's $9, but it seems like a really neat piece. And these are going, all the listings that I saw said like super rare and like, which is just, I don't know if it really is rare, but a lot of them said that rare, hard to find. There was like not a ton listed. Does this have it's a size large, made in Vietnam, which sometimes can be a factor of it being Y2K era. And but the solds, the most important things on this Tommy Hilfiger windbreaker was in the $50 and $60 range. And I paid $9. So that's why I had to be confident in it for $9. What I will say for these types of pieces, if you know it's Y2K, if you can tell by the tag, or if there's a date somewhere, look for the big logos. Tommy Hilfiger, Polo Ralph Lauren, or Ralph Lauren, DKNY, even the mall brands, the Hollister, all the things I talked to you guys about. Look for the big hits. If you get a big logo, I mean, I will pass on some vintage items in those brands because they don't have the big hit, the big logo, something substantial. But that's going to be a $50 piece. And that is fantastic. I was super excited. I actually sent that one to my husband. Most of the time he has no idea what I'm selling. But he was like, yeah, good job. This is Dress Barn. I do pretty well in vintage Y2K Dress Barn. Here's the things with this one, you guys. The dark colors, the purple and black combo is popular. If you can find something with beaded sequins, rhinestones, that adds another level. And then this had like an asymmetrical flare, almost like a mermaid bottom to it. I don't know if I can get it is asymmetrical. See how that hemline kind of falls funny like that? It's an asymmetrical hemline, and the fairy goth, whimsy goth style, and the people who buy those types of items really prefer that type of hemline. So keep all of those things in mind. The darker colors, the black purple combo, these lovely like rhinestone sequiny things, and then this is a home run as far as a dress goes. I paid $7.99 again. I'll list that around $39. Now this is kind of fun. Another brand to keep an eye out for. This is one of those brands that I tell, well, let me make sure I'm talking about the right thing. Oh, this is not, I have a brand. Okay. So this is a brand I don't find a ton. I'm laughing at myself because my brain is so mushy sometimes. Rails, R-A-I-L-S. If you find this, it's probably a pickup. This is a unique piece because, again, it's more of like an art to wear, artsy type of item. I do like that it has this long sleeve. It's almost like a watercolor print to it. I paid $6.49. I've always done pretty well with Rails. They have a nice inside tag there, Rails. Size small, and it's just polyester, so nothing crazy, but it is a really nice blouse. I'll get probably 25 to 30 for this. I was laughing because I started to talk about an item that I clearly was not holding on to, so I was thinking of another item I'm pretty sure is in here. So this is just like bread and butter. J. Jill in plus size 2X. J. Jill, tailbots. I'm sure there's another one in there. In plus size, I do pretty well with. And the newer stuff does have exactly what it is on it, which I do love. Simply Supima scoop neck tunic, size 2X. This is bread and butter. I paid $5. I will get 25 for that. Bread and butter. Oh. Brunello Coochinelli. You guys, if you don't know that brand, absolutely know it. Brunello Coochinelli. The last time I found a Brunello Coochinelli, it was a tank top. I paid $3.99 and it sold for $40 within like 2 weeks. This is $4.99. Now, this is a very soft, smooth, another closet staple. This is minimalist. This is the closet staple. It's capsule wardrobe because it's just a very classic piece with the white, the button up. Now, the Coochinelli items that I have found, you find the size and information on the underside. So this is an extra large, which is fantastic. And it is a cotton nylon blend. So nothing special on the material, but this is like a closet staple all the way. And Brunello Coochinelli is a huge brand you want to know. So actually I did pretty well on the brands in this haul, and I don't always do that. You guys know sometimes my hauls can be completely style based or vintage or plus size, my bread and butter. Brunello Coochinelli. This is a $40 to $50 piece all day. I do believe I saw some comps in the $60, $70 range. So it being an extra large, solid white, which is like a very classic, elegant, preppy, maybe not so elegant, but like a preppy, classic color, long sleeves. I could get $50 to $60 for that item. Now, I believe the purple tags were half off here. So this says $5.99, so I got it for $3. Haptics by, is it Holly? Holly Harper. This feels so nice. This is just a classic blouse. This will be bread and butter for me. And it's modal. It's 100%, and it's a 1X. So great size. I have a ton of room in my 1X. Great size, great material, being modal. Another very classic blouse piece, super soft. That's a bread and butter, 1X. Now this was a fantastic find. I almost started sweating because I was looking through the shoes, and again, I didn't have it. I went to this thrift store before I went to the Goodwill, which is where I got the alert that I had to run. But I wasn't having a ton of luck, and then I saw this little logo. Here it is right here. Fry. See if it's on the bottom. F-R-Y-E, Fry. Here you go, Fry. F-R-Y-E. I do well with their boots and their shoes. Now this is a great like combat style motorcycle boot, maybe even rockabilly, you know, this kind of style boot is very classic. They're in great condition. Look at the bottom of these. You know, you want to look for any like big holes or a lot of wear. They're in really good condition. So I paid $8.99. And these Fry boots I'm going to get $40 to $50 for. So although I did pay up, you guys know, like in my bins hauls, I'm only paying 50 cents to 75 cents on things. And I don't have to sweat or get anxiety about it so much. But when I'm paying up for things at $8.99, you know, you get a little bit more worried. It says oil resistant max tread. Since I'm already cruising through this pretty well here, I'm going to look it up. Fry Moto Boot Max. What did I say? Tread? Max Tread. Ooh, that comp looks really good. So Fry, this is absolutely a brand to keep an eye out for, especially in their shoes. The last item I sold was a pair of ballet flats, which are pretty simple, from Fry, and they sold for, I found them at the bins, and I sold them for $38, and I bought them for $1 at the bins. So definitely, here's a very similar, oh, I'm not gonna get that. Biker Moto Boot Fry, $155. Some of these are a little bit taller. That one was pretty similar to mine, $99. This pair went for $75, and it looks almost exactly like mine. So $8.99. I could be listing this at $70 to $80. I will double check before I price these, but it's absolutely a brand and style you want to know. Just in general, the moto style or biker style boots and leather jackets, like if it's a moto style or a bomber style, it's something to look out for. Here's one also that looks very, very similar to mine, sold for $60 plus shipping. So $8.99. That's a fantastic find, and it really made my day, being that I was able to find something cool. Now this is a cool piece. I remember picking this up. I love finding vintage Disney. Now here's the thing, anything vintage Disney is probably something you want to look up, but also in the clothing, if you find something that is a jersey or sports style, that also could be an indication that it is an item that could be worth money. So they put $5.99 on this. Look at this tag, Mickey & Co. See how this tag is, this white with this black lettering? It's very, very classic, late 90s Y2K era. I find so much stuff that's like this. It had the Mickey hit on the sleeve, a big Mickey in the front. It's a jersey style. This is gonna get, I'm gonna list this vintage Mickey jersey for at least $39. That was a great find. Now this is kind of a fun item. You guys know I mentioned the other day, actually, you know what's so funny? He actually, Elro Fisher, I remembered his name this time. He is a reseller. He does a lot in mail items, and he's very to the point. I love his videos because it's not like me. He's like, hey, we're learning about blazers today. And then he just goes right into it. Whereas I talk too much. But I learned a lot from him. I commented on one of his videos today, and he actually commented back, which I thought was kind of cool. It was like a very small YouTube gush moment. But I've been trying to learn more on men's items, and I do learn from him. This is a blazer. Now, this was half off. The purple tags at this store were half off, and I marked it as half off, so I remember. So I paid $3.50. Now, the brand, you guys are going to be like, what? Is Just Stafford, which is a more expensive brand that's sold in like Kohl's, maybe JCPenney, things like that. And this blazer brand new is probably $150, honestly. But it's not, you know, it's not like a Gucci or anything. However, these blazers with this tweed finish, and this is wool and lamb's wool, made in the USA. It's vintage, made in the USA. That's the ticket on some of these blazers. There's a lot to learn about blazers. I've mentioned them in my videos before and even said to you guys, like, sometimes it can be hard because some of my thrift stores have a whole row of blazers and I might not pick up a single one. However, this patch gives it extra value. This is preppy, executive, businessman. So look for the patch. That usually elevates it. This like tweed material with wool and lamb's wool, and it's vintage, made in USA, right? We stack all those items. That's like 5-6 reasons to pick it up. It was half off and only $3.50. And these are going for about $40. See that patch on the elbow? The elbow patch. Those are all the reasons to pick this up. This is a great pickup. It may sit a little bit longer because it is a blazer and, you know, not everybody needs a blazer. So we'll have to see how that goes. But an excellent pickup. All those reasons. Keep your eye out for that. Now this is a brand I don't know. Mason, M-A-I-S-O-N, Terra. I wonder if I picked this up for the style because I don't really know. Look at this lovely dress though. Lovely colors, a waist belt. It feels really nice. This is at least a midi. This is great for the season right now. It's dress season. You need dresses for your events, for your weddings you're going to, for, you know, all the spring, summer stuff. It's just polyester. So I'm going to take a look and see. It's only $5, which is actually pretty affordable for dresses in my area. What do you guys... What are your dresses? It always seems like the dresses are priced up. Blazers are normally priced up. So that blazer was only $6.99 and it was half off. So that's actually not too bad for my area. Here's a Mason Terra dress, $35. Chiffon dress, $40, excuse me. $25, $27, $18, $27. Okay, well, I paid $5. I do love the style. I love the flowy sleeve. I love the colors, the belt tie, the V-neck. I'm going to guess I will put this around $29 unless I see. I mean, this one went for $39. I think it'll probably land in the $25 range. We got a couple more bags here and we're going to be done with this haul. Kind of a hodgepodge mix of things. Some great brands, though. I am super pumped about a few of those items. Some great brands. Yeah, see, I have several half off. $56 on this. Oh, I found that Brunello Coochinelli here. And I'm going to sell that for $40 to $50, and I spent $56 total. So that Brunello Coochinelli is going to basically pay for almost my entire haul on that one item. So that is awesome. If you can find that brand. Ooh, I've mentioned this brand before to you guys. This is a plus size bread and butter for me. Oola Popkin. This is a 32, 34. That's plus size, like 5X. So it's a great size. It's a beautiful blouse with all this purple. The brand, the size. It does have buttons up the front, which is usually preferred by my plus size ladies. And of course, if you can get at least like a half sleeve or 3/4 sleeve, those are all reasons to pick up for plus size. This is $25 all day for me. I'll list it at $29, and I paid for $4.99, it said. Ooh, that's a Y2K piece. What else do we have here? I didn't look this one up. 100% linen, Porter and Ash, made in India. I picked it up because it was 100% linen, and it had a really unique tag. Look at this. There's like all this detail. Porter and Ash, 100% linen, $5. Love the white. People love their white linen. I mean, white in general in clothing, it's just so classic. It's timeless. It can be dressed up or dressed down. So if you can find it, though, I remember looking at a couple of these pieces and be, oh, look, it's embroidered and says Porter and Ash right on it. Whew. I remember looking at this and being like, there's got to be a stain somewhere. My eyes start to cross and I get tired of looking at it. And if I don't see anything, sometimes I just take a risk. I'm a risk taker, you guys. Here's one for 20, 22, 25, 19, 20, 20, 19, 20. Okay, looks pretty solidly in the $20 range as a sold. So 5 to 20, it's not bad. 100% linen. It's gonna sell pretty quickly right now. People wear those to weddings and to on their beach vacations and all summer long. I love. Oh, they only put $1.99 on this. This is a Y2K Abercrombie and Fitch. That's the brand I was missing earlier. I just sold something like this like in a week for $25. It's a Abercrombie and Fitch muscle tank with the spell out. The bigger the spell out, the better. Got that big moose. The big moose I talk about. This is a I can't believe $1.99. Look at that. They don't ever price anything for $1.99. That's crazy. Muscle tee, size extra large. This is a $25, style-based and brand-based. Abercrombie's expensive. I mentioned that on this channel before. Like, bless my family's heart, like, we're just normal middle-class people. Like, we could not afford Abercrombie, one, but two, I was too chubby to fit in it anyways, because even their extra large was like, meh, and I'm corn-fed here. I'm a big girl, and that was not happening for me. But, I mean, some of their t-shirts and stuff are $40, $50 just for a t-shirt. And this is vintage Y2K. That's a great pickup. You guys know I love finding that type of item. And the big spell out on the front with the big moose, that is good. $5.99 here for a BKE denim pair of jeans. I do pretty well with BKE jeans. This is a boot cut. If there's a lot of stuff on the butt, that's usually will add some value. This is pretty plain. The low rise is back, and this is a pretty low rise here. It's probably 6-7 inches for this style, and it's a size 29L, which is long. So that's also a great size. If you can find longs or talls in bottoms, that's an additional reason to pick it up, because they're just harder to find. Here's another brand I've mentioned before. It's TAIL, T-A-I-L. This is a golfing, tennis, pickleball dress here. Athletic, athleisure, country club, all those different things. There's the TAIL. They do a lot with like UPF items, meaning they have sun protection. I paid $4.99. This will be a $25 item. It's a dress. Your shirts and tanks will go for a little bit less than that. I got one shoe. Here we go. This is a brand I do pretty well with as well. Look how cute. Oh my gosh. Look at this. The embroidery details, the rhinestones. I sell this brand quite often. Patriceia by Spring Step. But they just have cute stuff. It's no wonder people want this. Like, look how cute this is with all these details. Love, love this. It says size 40, which is like a 9, I believe. I get $20 to $25 for these, like pretty much over and over and over again. Spring Step, Patriceia. There's a couple other similar brands that I just do really well. And I just, if they're in good condition, look at the bottoms. Did anybody wear these? I love finding shoes like this because they're in such good condition. Honestly, this looks like nobody wore them. What? Gosh. They look virtually brand new. Wow, that's fantastic. And these were purple, so they were half off. I paid $6.99, well, minus the half off, so $3.50 for these. And I'll get 20 to 25 all day. Now, this is a vintage Y2K pair of jeans. And the reason I picked them up is this tie lace up. Oh yeah, this is a long one too. This is motorcycle, biker, rocker, rocker girl, you know, rockabilly, all those different things. This is sexy. If you can find Y2K, it's denim company made in Vietnam, which honestly, that brand is not going to really mean a whole lot to me. But it's the style, and it's honestly this lace up the side. Those are going to be, I don't know, people are really looking for those. I have a pair that I just listed that had a little bit of the lace up towards the end of the ankle. And I listed them for $29. I would bet I'm going to list those for at least $39. If you can find, you know, the vintage lace up, sexy little pants there. I wish I could rock that because it's so cute. Here's another one, Flax. I already mentioned this brand, so this is the second item I found. Made in USA, 100% linen. This is, you know, lag and look and all those kind of like hippie boho. This is a long dress though. So it's a midi for sure, possibly a maxi. Usually if I can get it to go the whole way, it's a maxi. So that is fantastic. I did pay up for it, $7.99, but the time period right now for linen is, it's now. This will sell pretty quickly for me. I would bet on it. And it's 100% linen, not even just like a linen blend. Woo! You want to know what these solds look like? Pre-owned. They put lag and look and cottagecore. Cottagecore would also be a great keyword to put in for this. 75, 50, 45, I don't know what. 35, 45, 72, 67. So I paid $8. I'm going to list this at least at $49. Flax, 100% linen, long maxi length, dress, lag and look, cottagecore, boho. There we go. Now what is this? Oh, did I get this from my family? You guys know every once in a while there's an item in here for, yeah. But this is still a great pickup. Carhartt. This is a 2XLT. And they only put $6.50 on it, so that's great. If you can find tall men's items in a larger size, those are can be a great pickup. And this is a great sweatshirt. Oh my gosh. The hit right here, the hit down the side, the tall. This is probably a $30 hoodie, honestly. We're almost done. I'm going to look it up. But as you guys know, my family, we are large people. And when we find talls, you have to pick it up because it's so hard to find things. My 13-year-old son, he's in 7th grade, is 6'2". Like not even, his torso is like the longest thing you've ever seen. We literally, I cannot get him a regular t-shirt. Like, don't even try, because his torso is so long. So this is for the family, but it's still a great pickup. $6.49. This hoodie, I'm looking at the solds right now, $24, $29. This one went for $35, $45. The great logo, if you can get the good, you know, a nice hit. This is in great condition. With the 2XLT, you're looking at $25 to $35. So don't sleep on that. Larger, tall sizes. Yeah, 22, 28. That's an excellent pickup. Here is the item I was joking about earlier that I thought I was talking about and was not. It's James Purse. This is a high-end designer brand that sometimes, it's one of those designer brands that sometimes you don't know what you're going to get for it. However, it's almost always a pickup for me. James Purse. They have their own sizing. So this says size 1, which I believe is a small medium. It's like a cropped V-neck. Nice color. I wonder what the material is. Nice long sleeve with a little bit of a flare, which is cute. James Purse. It's almost always a pickup. Is there anything underneath here that tells me anything? Ooh, this is a paper tag. 100% cotton. You'll want to know that brand. James Purse. A great pickup there. I see a style-based item in here. I'm really happy with this haul. This is apartment 9. Nobody cares about apartment 9, you guys. I did not pick it up for that. It is made in Vietnam, which is typically a Y2K era piece. This is baby doll. This is one of those dresses with a tie around the back. If you can start identifying things that are the Y2K era, this lovely floral print. That's another, I'll probably list that at $29. Ooh, I love this. This was half off too. So $3.50 for this. Coldwater Creek, which every once in a while I'll pick up, but there's obviously a lot of reasons why I picked this up. It's 100% genuine leather, size extra large. And look at this embroidery. It's a vest. See if my lighting can pick it up. You see this? Oh man. The embroidery is beautiful. It's pure leather. It even has embroidery on the back. I'm going to put keywords like Western, equestrian, cowgirl, cowboy, rodeo, maybe even country, because a lot of the country music artists are wearing things like this, like Lainey Wilson, Miranda Lambert. But this is just so stunning. 100% leather vest with embroidery details on the front and back. That's a pickup. Half off tag. Paid $3.50 for this. This is a $39 list for me. A great haul there. You guys let me know what your favorite piece was. Obviously we had several great brands. Started out with that Vori. If you find that brand, you want to pick it up. A lot of nice style base, some material base. You had flax, you had linen, 100% leather right there. And then of course some of my normal style based items, Y2K era, the baby doll things. You know, the more you know, the better chances you have of finding different items. So I prefer to kind of have a wide range of knowledge, and I'm always trying to figure out new items. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But like that Stafford blazer, geez, that was vintage Stafford blazer with the patch. You know, sometimes when we're looking up solds, even the keywords like that, like the patch, can make a huge difference in your solds. Like maybe without the patch, it doesn't sell as well. But with the patch, maybe it does. Here's one, $45, $45, $48, $52. Here's one that looks just like mine. Tweed elbow pocket, elbow patches, sold for $55. And I believe that was also a half off, which was only like $3.50 for me. Another one, $39.40. So very, very consistently, they're selling for $40 to $50. But again, with those blazers, it sometimes can be a toss-up because there's a lot of blazers to look through. Remember, that one was lamb's wool and regular wool, right? And then it was tweed with the patches on the elbows. So lots of Tommy Hilfiger. I mean, lots of good items here in this haul. Super, super happy. I am going to actually go list like right now. So if you don't mind commenting or liking the video for me, it would really mean a lot to me. It helps me out and gets me seen to more people. And that really means a lot to me. And I love connecting with everyone. And, you know, it gives me a little bit motivation. Some of you guys are just way too nice to me. I appreciate you so much. It really does mean a lot to me, and it does motivate me to kind of check into my stuff and keep doing videos because I feel like you guys are my friends now. And I don't, my people here at home will tell you, like, if I'm a friend to you, I'm a friend to you till the end. Like, I will have your back. I will, you know, anytime you need to vent or anytime you need to do anything, like, I'm your girl. I'm like very, very loyal. So I really love connecting with you guys, and I hope that something is helpful in some way, and I hope some of this stuff sells soon so I can show it to you guys in a what sold. All right, I hope you guys are doing really well. I appreciate you. Love you so much, and we'll see you on the next one.